How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be reacting to um, the channel Germany versus USA. My last video was from this channel, and I really enjoyed it, and I know you guys did too. So we're going to do another one. This one's called Annoying Things Germany versus USA. So I am sure I can add to that. Alrighty, let's check it out.
Welcome to Germany versus USA. Today we're going to talk about annoying things.
Alex and I always talk about everything we love about each other's country.
So I did not realize that from the first video that is actually Alex and that is Jim. So Jim is from America, Alex is from Germany. So that kind of need to know that information.
I think it's just happy.
Just happy-go-lucky.
But there are things that kind of annoy us.
Yeah. We don't love everything. Not everything.
Not everything.
Most things
are pretty awesome, but then there are a couple of things that are very annoying about one another's country and about one another's people, I guess.
I can start. There's different things I could start with, but I guess I'm going to start with. I had a funny way of expressing the euro earlier today when I called it the euro dollar, and
Jim's like,
I can't help but notice that picture in the back, that bicycle. It looks like the world is in the tires. I really like that. I would hang that on my wall.
I hate the $2 euro.
I hate the $2 euro. That makes a lot of sense.
Right.
But I do not like the euros, or to be even more specific, how reliant or how common use of money, cash in Germany is. I don't like touching money or exchanging money.
Right.
And also I don't my wallet. I don't like having the euros in my pocket, or I mean, I always would just have so many odds and ends in euros.
And Jim kind of loses control of how much actually like cash, like coins are worth. So he will have like a bunch of coins with like 30 euros, and he just tip.
Well,
I don't.
I just don't. I never would pay with coins. Because to me, like in my like American mind, that's insulting, and so I always just like give.
Not even insulting, but people assume that you're just poor if you just use change, and like we use a lot of pennies. I know some countries don't do that. My friend actually lives in UK, and he came down and he was like laughing because when he seen pennies come out of the machine, he was just like, "Oh my gosh, this is crazy!" But yeah, we have like quarters and nickels and dimes and pennies and all of that stuff. Um, and actually, the other day, it was President's Day, so the banks were closed, and I went to Walmart and cashed my check, and it felt so weird having cash in my hands and like paying with it. Um, Most of the time, people do use cards, but then you get situations like, for instance, tire machine. Like if you need to air up your tire, you need quarters. Some machines do cards now. And it's like $2 to air up your tire, which I remember it being a quarter, and I remember it being free too. So it's like we're paying for air. But yeah, that's all I was gonna say. Is like it is becoming like weird to have change and stuff, and I really hope that we get rid of the pennies, because to me it's just, I mean, it's just so dirty, so dirty. I hate it.
Cash, like bills, and then I get coins back. I'm like, oh, awesome, $6 or euros worth of coins.
$6 euros.
Yeah, just can't wait to put that in my pocket. Now I'm walking around jingling all day. And I was like, well, and so then I got a little man purse that I had to put in my pocket, and it looked like I had a lump.
To Jim, the man purse is a wallet that, here's my wallet actually, that has a coin pouch.
Yes,
Oh.
coin pouch.
That's a man purse to Jim.
That
I've never looked like a mosquito or something. I've never seen a man's wallet look like that ever with the change thing. That is that a normal thing? Usually they just keep like the credit cards or the money in their wallet and they put their wallet in their back pocket and then they put their change in their front pocket, which that seems more like it seems better to do it that way than our way, but we do things half backwards, so I don't know.
That is this leading off with the coins. I just
Okay, we got it. Coins for Jim, not a good thing.
not my favorite.
My turn it is. And having watched a lot of American movies and having been to the States to like sports events, one thing that is a little annoying to me is like the omnipresence of patriotism and pride of the United States of Americans. I can see why you should be proud of it, of course, but you know, it's very much and very often like right into your face, and that kind of comes with like the
The American flag right there.
exactly. It kind of goes in with the hero stories that you will have in American movies. Of course, they work. People like to watch that, but when
Yeah, we act like we are like very proud and patriotic and everybody has flags and yeah, I understand what this guy's saying.
the stereotypical
Jim.
like what is called Air Force One, for instance, like that movie. You want to watch that, and you saw Harrison Ford flying the Air Force One, and then you know there was like a I think like a jet flying by him, and he did like the what is it? The
Saluting?
salute, yeah, and it's like
Mhm.
guys, come on, it's like really that's what he's gonna do. I mean, he will probably do that, but I guess it's just a thing that I find a little bit like I roll my eyes at least.
I can see that. I
Yeah.
can see that.
Oh,
Yeah.
you do see that all the time. I
Right,
roll my
yeah.
eyes all the time.
Another one of my annoyances is the lack of air conditioning. And I know, look, I get it. It's a stereotype. Europe doesn't have air conditioning, but they really have it somewhere. No, no, no. They don't have enough air conditioning. They really don't. And like, it's a bigger problem to me than just not having air conditioning
Mhm.
because it leads to other things that I get cranky with. Like, hey, I don't like sweating. Now, if I'm like playing soccer
Mhm.
or working out or, you know, in a sauna,
Mhm.
yeah, I can sweat. But like if I'm walking to like, you know, go to the library, then I get to the library and like it's like a sauna in the library. I'm sweating on the pages and then I'm getting antsy, you know, or I'm at a restaurant trying to eat lunch and
Mhm.
like the guy next to me is super sweaty and just has bad body odor because there's no air conditioning.
Mhm. So you're saying Europeans smell a little bit every once in a
Maybe sometimes there's a smelly European syndrome. Look, another stereotype, but hey, I'm just putting it on the table.
Yeah, I love air conditioning and I understand like how Europeans are used to it. They it's not like a huge thing, so they've just gotten used to it, you know, throughout the years. I've kind of gotten used to like being hot just cuz like this past summer and like moving and all of that stuff and not having air conditioning, it got really really hot. But the longer I had to do that, the more used to it I got. So it's just a little bit better. But
That's cool. That's cool. The United States is a country designed for cars.
yes,
And that leads to the lack of bike path, of walking path. Actually, if I were to go to the next grocery store from here, I couldn't get there without a car. And that's really annoying that you
Yeah.
can't walk a certain
Why
way.
would you walk when you could just take the car?
Exactly. But in Germany and Europe, it's very like common not to have a car. Whereas in the United States, you need a freaking car if you want to go places. And not just because of the distances. I mean, very often it is because of the distances, but often because the infrastructure just doesn't provide it to be able to walk somewhere or to take the bike somewhere. And often like when you see people like jogging or running, they will have to run on the road. They will not be like a walk
Yep.
path or anything. And then you know it depends regionally, of course, but in general, very much car focus in the United States.
We have too many cars.
Yeah, and cars are a priority. Like pedestrians, they go second. And that kind of annoys me too, because they are just as much important as anybody else, and they're still trying to get to their places. Um, but it takes them much longer. Yeah, we don't have much bike paths at all, and the sidewalks we do have are not safe. So a lot of people do walk and ride their bikes in the road, but yeah, it's definitely not safe for sure.
Oh, completely agree. 'Cause I get
Actually, Jim hates cars.
yeah, I get real like annoyed as well, like having to drive around when like it's so much more convenient. So I can side with that as long as the cars stay big.
And have an AC.
Yes, and have an AC. Sundays, not my favorite day in Germany.
You can go pick mushrooms in the woods.
Or I could do nothing else. Like with Sundays, shops not being open. Now you get a little bit of that here, but Germany, they take it to another level. Just shut down. The hours are different, or the grocery store is closed. You know, and that can be very hard on someone when like you, and it's probably a little bit of my fault not preparing better or waiting till the last minute.
Oh, it's even Germans don't like. They're not prepared for Sundays. They're always annoyed that.
See, that's really funny because alcohol, we never served alcohol on Sundays, and that was a big thing. Is like everybody had to load up on Friday and Saturday to get there because they knew Sunday they were not able to buy alcohol. So yeah, we all understand the feeling of that in a different way.
That they need to do all the shopping on Saturdays.
Well, you're busy during the week, and then like Sunday, it's such a hard like change of gears to be like, oh yeah, I gotta get everything done because Sunday I can't do anything. So Sundays, open a few stores up.
It's like a government forced relaxation day.
Yeah, which I probably need that. I probably need that.
This is a delicate point, but I find it very important. To me, the United States could have done a lot better job of processing their historic past, and perhaps also the mistakes they have made in the past. Where, you know, when you think about slavery, when you think about Native Americans, to me, I mean, you know, Americans are aware of it and they say, you know, was wrong, but it's just, to me, it's, I guess also being from Germany and having processed what happened in World War II, it's a very different attitude towards that kind of topic in Germany than it is in the United States, of course, because it's different things. But I feel, I guess Americans could be more conscious of, you know, what kind of terrible things happened in the past. And I feel they could do a better job of processing that, I guess.
Yeah, we just haven't really learned a whole lot to know that, but that's definitely very true.
With that said, I think kind of the flip side, you kind of mentioned it earlier that Americans are a little too prideful, or proud of their country, where sometimes it bothers me that Germans are not as proud of Germany as I feel they should be.
Yeah.
And we know what happened in the past. You know, and no German, I've never met a German who hides from that. Like, they know that.
Yeah.
But there's a lot going on that's super positive now. And, you know, I think sometimes they could just be a little prouder to be German.
Okay, I think that goes in with like the American attitude of let the past be the past a little bit, which goes to my point that I had earlier, and it was more future oriented, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's fair to say.
Yeah, I think a lot of Germans are probably going to be nodding when they hear, you know, let the past be the past and be a little more prouder of your country. And I think that has changed a little bit also in the last 10, 20 years.
Yeah.
Here's a subtle thing. I talked about very broad topics, but this is like a tiny little thing. But I hate it when I'm in an American restaurant and one person, you know, you're eating a group and one person is done eating and the waiter comes and takes away the plate. I find it so rude, actually. It always drives me mad. Besides that, you know, like the general, the waiting service in the States and restaurants, I like that a lot. I like that they're personal, that they, you know, introduce them with the first names. I like that a lot, but the only thing that really drives me nuts is when they take away the plate. So the person, you know, that is done eating will just be sitting there doing nothing, and
just
then
hanging
four
out.
other people are eating. Yeah, stop that, people! Stop it! Don't take the plates away.
A lot of people actually, they are trained to like go down to like only glasses on the table. Like they need to have all the plates off by the time the customer leaves. That way the busser can come, grab the cups, wipe the table down, and just flip tables. That's just how it goes.
Don't take him away.
My last point, and this is a very small thing, but really drives me insane, is when you're in a park or you're walking and someone on a bike or someone with a stroller, they ring a bell at you to get past.
Okay, so they drive by you,
Yeah,
basically?
to go by you. They'll hit the bell instead of just saying, they're coming from the left or the right. And it just gets under my skin so much. And I get it. It's a wonderful system because you hear a bell and you're like, oh yeah, I just need to like get out of the way. But at the same time, I'm like,
if you're not used to it.
Yeah, you're not used to it. It's kind of like I'm driving and someone honks at you. Something just flips in my head.
Yeah, that's exactly how I feel. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I don't think I'd like them doing their little bell at me.
It's like, what? Just like completely irrational. But like here in the U.S. and like around where I'm from, people instead of like ringing their bells, they'll say, "Hey, I'm coming from the left, coming from the right."
Yeah.
And to me, that's just something my brain goes, that's polite of you. You like spoke to me instead of just ringing a bell. And I'm not talking about like a guy like Lance Armstrong coming around the corner at 40 miles per hour. I'm talking about, a grandma casually riding a bike, and then you just start hearing the bell, and you're like, okay, I got 5 minutes of this, so like, I get it. All right, here, come on, like, come on.
That is such an American thing to say, though, because they say that Americans are a lot like that. Like, you go in the store and we love the small talk, like saying hi and, waving and just getting a little bit more personal on a personal level than what Germans would. But that is so funny.
So yeah, the bell system just gets under my skin a little bit.
I can see why. My next point, or my last point actually, is probably a point that most of you who have been around American groups and restaurants in Europe or in the United States will have experienced, is how loud Americans can be. Sometimes Americans are very, any group might be, but you will see it very often with American groups. They're oblivious to their surroundings. The other day we went to a restaurant and we were talking like with a couple of people were sitting there and talking, and then 2 Americans came in and they sat down, and we basically had to stop our conversation because they were speaking so loud.
So loud, and then they had people come up and were standing, and it took everything in my power because my mother was in town not to like stand up and like pull the chair out from under them.
It was really, really, and you will have that in European cafes or restaurants, that people actually nod up when they hear a group of Americans coming in, because for some reason the sound level is just a little
way
further
up.
We can be a little loud sometimes.
Yeah, that's what I had to get to used to with my fiance's family. Very loud. Love them to death, but they're very loud. So when I would first go to restaurants with them and they'd be like talking to each other, I would almost want to like just get under the table and hide, because I was just like, oh my god, people's gonna look at me. But I'm like a shy person, so it was probably more of my anxiety than anything. But yeah, that is very, very, very true. I have a few friends that they're very, very, very loud.
Everyone has stuff that gets under their skin. I really want to know what y'all's are, because I feel like everyone has like a funny, weird thing, 1 or 2. But overall,
we made a video about things we like about one another in this country, so
we wouldn't be doing we wouldn't be doing this series if we didn't love each other's countries. So,
but now we want to hear the bad stuff.
Yeah, now we want to hear just a few bad things.
Okay. Cheers.
Y'all take it easy.
Cheers!
That is awesome. I really enjoy reacting to this channel. They're very funny. They make it really fun. But yeah, I want to hear your guys' thoughts as well. So if you enjoyed this video, hit like and hit subscribe so you don't miss out on any future videos, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.